Marching of.
Tight as possible so you can zoom in.
Can they see that? Yeah, you got that.
Yeah.
Marching.
We're good.
Marching
Well,
of
I don't know if I can
Enos?
put together
Somebody
quite the
wants me to ask you guys about Marching of Enos.
Of what?
Enos?
That's we can't talk.
We can't talk about that yet. That's our special announcement. Don't
know what
worry.
you're talking about.
That's the worst kept secret in the gaming world. And we're
Chat.
don't worry.
Just being a goofball. It's Skeleton.
We will get to those questions.
They're good. I'm telling you.
These guys
Yeah.
are great. Yeah,
They're good.
they're mocking me.
I would help set up, but I
No, it's okay. It's
These are the zeros.
pretend like I know what I'm doing.
these are still perfectly correlated.
It's on the down. Oh, it was on the down camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought we collated all these.
Yeah, they're perfectly correlated. I'm just gonna
Wow, they are being silly.
use a couple, right? So I'll retire these to the side.
I guess we don't really even have to put them exactly.
No, it's fine. You can just
These are zeros. Oh, this is
Don't
three.
peek at my cards. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
what do you?
Jeez,
One.
you guys are stacking the deck.
But there's a player right there. We can retire that to the side. We don't need that right now. No, right here.
I like the image on the back.
Duh.
I don't know if anything in space actually looks like that, but it does look nice.
Yeah,
with
it feels
cards.
like space.
I'm sure you
I'm
talk
sure
about
they're all
It's
kinds
like
of.
a nebula
Yeah.
mixed with a planet, mixed with a sun. I like it.
Yeah. And then words floating out there.
And then words floating in the abyss.
Yeah.
And an eclipse.
Just like real space.
Real space.
Make sure you talk about the artwork.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Oh, elastic bands are included, but not part of the game.
No?
Well,
no
you mean
elastic bands?
variant
New,
maybe, some kind
new
of variant.
edition.
Yeah, those are return sides. I've already sorted those out. I don't do that.
Okay. Okay. Player decks. You're gonna talk about player decks. Okay.
I got
I'll leave
two.
it.
No, I got two
two.
already.
Two's good enough. One for energy, one for actions. There we go. Here's your player board. Here's your energy marker.
What? 25. Oh, thank you. Danke.
Dankeschön. Okay. Start talking.
You good?
Oh yeah.
All right. All right. So this is Core Worlds. This is an Andy Parks game. He's a designer of some repute and gaining popularity with every game he does. So this is a space game, and it's in what you would probably call the deck building genre, but not really like. Someone's gonna say, was it like Dominion? Is it like Thunderstone? Yeah, the answer is probably yes. But that's not the central focus. The central focus of this game. Well, I'll explain the theme. That'll help explain the focus. You are playing as barbarian kingdoms on that external edge of a large empire, and this large empire is crumbling. And these barbarians on the edge of space decide they've had enough, and they're going to head towards the central planets and kind of change the rules and take over these planets.
I like it.
Yeah, and so this game covers your progression as a barbarian kingdom as you make your rush towards what are called the core worlds, or the most important planets in the empire. And as you progress through, these planets get tougher and tougher and more able to defend themselves up until the core worlds, which are very capable. But when you start on the end, these planets are not too capable of defending themselves. They fall quickly to your advances. The central portion of the game revolves around the capturing of planets for victory points, and I think we have some right here. Here's one, for example. That's a starting one, which doesn't make for the greatest example. Let's start here. Thank you. So here's Tundros. I don't bother to pronounce that one. And you can see that they're scoring victory points. And they generate a critical currency to the game, which is energy. So there's your energy points, and there are how many victory points are generated. So if you take this planet, you're not going to generate any victory points, but you'll generate one extra energy per turn, in addition to the energy that you generate from your home world. This is where, for example, you live. You may live on Gamma Prime. And so you would generate 3 energy per turn. So you'd set your marker to 3 energy.
You look like a Gamma Prime person.
Definitely, absolutely.
So if you captured that planet, you would then have 1 more energy.
There's no description on. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, well, some of the
Some
worlds,
of them, yeah, have extra.
they confer a special ability of some kind. This particular one is in the energy phase. You can discard 2 cards in exchange for 1 energy. It's a way of kind of
Nice.
cycling your hand in exchange for energy. You can also spend your time acquiring other cards like forces. Is that the level 1 deck there?
This is it's a starter deck.
Where did I put the level 1 deck? There, it's right there, perfect. So in addition to planets, there's a whole bunch of them in the first era. You can go after some cards for drafting. It's important to note that, I don't know if you can see this very well. These cards here have both a fleet value, a fleet attack value, and a ground strength. So this particular card has a fleet attack value of 3 and a ground attack value of 0.
Okay.
Whereas each planet has a certain defense level. So this is a fleet, a defense level of 2, and a ground attack defense of 0. So this guy alone could capture this planet if you so chose to use him that way. These cards will be laid out each turn, and you will have to choose between drafting one of them for the draft cost, which is spending energy that you've earned, or you'll have to attack a planet. Those are your 2 basic choices in the game. But the issue is you can't do both. And unlike a game like Dominion where there are 10 cards to pick from, you have the one chance to capture Osiris, and if you don't do it, maybe I will. And maybe you'll regret later that you didn't capture it. But by the same token, maybe you want these Enviro Troopers, and maybe you get to them first before I do. When you capture planets, of course, you earn points, but you do so at the expense of your deck, which doesn't gain any strength. When you choose to draft cards, you'll get a very strong deck that can be very capable by the end of the game, but you'll do so at the sacrifice of not gaining any worlds and victory points. So you're constantly making this struggle in your mind, which one do I need to go for, and which one do I think my opponents are going to go for. You build these up into what we call a war zone. That's back here. When you enlist these units, you can play them out later for a cost of action, and in some cases energy, in some cases a lot of energy, depending how strong they are.
Actions, energy.
Wow.
Now, if you choose to use all of your action deploying forces, they're not simply lost when the turn ends. They can actually be used again later, and in fact, this guy could sit here for the entire game and never be used. Of course, that's not a very efficient use of your actions, but that just implies that you don't need to worry so much about capturing a planet this turn because you're going to lose these guys. They're going to stick around until you decide to use them. Of course, the planets will get much more difficult, and then conversely, these guys will be worse relative to the planets.
Okay.
As we get closer to the core worlds, you can note that there are some special prestige cards. These cards will confer various benefits, and they're outlined on your player sheet. And the reason for that is there are different strategies you can employ in this game, and these prestige cards will help direct that strategy. So, for example, the Mystic Brotherhood, the cost of this card is -1 for every core world in your war zone. If you are collecting a lot of core worlds, you would want to go after this card because of the abilities it confers to you. And there are a whole bunch of them. As you can see here, there's the Galactic Senate, the Science Guild, the Mining Coalition, and they all score various ways. So in this game, I find it's not good to have a wishy-washy strategy. You really want to kind of set your course from the start and then play it through. And then at the end, you can use the prestige cards to top off the number of points you're going to receive. So the effective players will set a strategy and try to stick with it, of course, with the wild card being your opponents, who may also be setting a similar strategy and making yours slightly worse.
A couple of things I'd like to point out, if it's okay, is that this game uses deck building as a mechanic, but as you can see, there are many other parts of the game. You have to manage the currency, which is thank you. Oh, that's great. Manage the currency, which is energy in the game, and spend your actions on your turn. So it's a much deeper, bigger game than a lot of the deck building games out there because it's using a lot of other mechanics as well.
So deck building is an important aspect. It's very important, but to call this a deck building only game would be selling it a bit short. It's deck building, it's resource management, and it's optimization. If you have 5 energy and 4 actions, and you just choose to spend all of your energy, you're leaving a lot of actions on the table because those actions don't often come for free. They come with an expensive energy. But if you spent all your energy, you have to then pass your turn. So you really need to have a balanced strategy, a balanced or mixed strategy. This game plays from 2 to 5 players, and it plays in a relatively short time for the amount of fun you can derive from it. I believe I played a game last week. It lasted only an hour. and we felt we had a full gaming experience. I'm sure for the first time, people would play it a little bit slower, as you need to play through 10 turns, 10 rounds. It's available and pre-order, like Steven mentioned, starting in a very short time, maybe an hour, 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. See, I got that in the first
We
try.
got it right this first time. 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, which is about an hour.
12:30. Okay, so yeah.
12:30.
We're getting so confused.
Yeah, 6:30 in Germany.
So
6:30 in Germany.
That's right, that's
Okay.
right.
And then that's 12:30 in Eastern. I'm from the East Coast, so I'm trying to figure this out, but even I have no idea. All right.
So, and I'll mention in addition to what Steven mentioned, this is the very first time with our pre-order program that we've had 2 games simultaneously offered on pre-order. And that offers our customers certain advantages, one of which being you can combine shipping, have them
Right.
both sent to you. So if we've done our job and our customers are excited and they want both, they'll have the opportunity to take both and it has some extra savings.
Awesome.
Otherwise, it'll be available retail somewhere about the beginning of December.
That is,
Okay.
that's correct.
Awesome.
That is Four Worlds by Andrew Parks
Awesome.
and Stronghold Games. All right, we're going to
Very
clean
cool.
up and move on to the next game.
Numero dos.
We should just throw everything in.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Good, messy cleanup.
Messy
You'll throw it
cleanup.
And the cleanup is
yay.
actually very easy because the worlds and these cards all have a number at the bottom, and you can put those all into the correct decks very
Yeah, it makes
simple.
it easy.
It's very easy.
Huh.
Although today we'll use the old throw and stone.
Yeah, I'm like,
Throwing
I don't think they were originally put out normally.
Throwing stuff.
Throwing stuff. Okay, I like this.
Another thing that guy that I'm mad at right now, Tom Vassell, he throws all the components on his videos. He always does that. I'm gonna get you, Tom. Just wait, Tom. I love Tom. He's great.
There you go.
All right. Rulebook. I have to de-mic again.
Did we show the box cover?
We did. We showed. Oh, and the one little thing we didn't really mention a lot about is the amount of artwork in this game. And people were posting about how much they loved the artwork. So we posted quite a bit of it on the Geek. So if people want to go look at it on the listing there, we posted several shots, and people were thumbing it like crazy. I think it was just gorgeous.
Every single planet in the game is different artwork.
Right.
There's not a single one that's the same. So you can check all the star fields, you can check everything about the planet. There's not a single one that is the same.
Do I know how many planets are in this game?
Oh, some huge number.
Like a lot.
Like a
There are
lot.
There is
A
so
lot.
much artwork in this game
And
compared to a
everyone-
regular deck building
And
game.
who did
It's
the
insane.
artwork?
Oh, a number of artists, and I don't think I can pronounce the
That's
the
okay.
primary
I think,
artist
if I
name.
remember correctly, was it? I think
I can't
it's
pronounce
on the
his-
bottom of the card.
Yeah, each card will tell you who did the artwork. But we had a primary artist was
Mac Reeves.
Mac Reeves. And he's the lead artist. And we have, I'll mention their names because they're great guys. Derek Rowan Egerton, Adelaide
That's a lot.
Farkrey, Alex Fagini, Jim Parks, that's Andy's brother. He did a couple cards. Timothy Rodriguez and Sergey Romanantev. Yes.
Lots of artists.
Yeah,
went
lots of
into
artists
that.
that
Very
contributed.
cool.
They were really great. We thank them
Awesome.
all very much.